Roman Reigns working even less dates, but not dropping the titles. Plus, a major WWE star heel turn plans have been revealed. And we have a spoiler on Money in the Bank entrance. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Now, throughout the day, you've heard a lot about a Twitter account called Boozer666 or Better Wrestling Experience. They are sort of new to the WWE insider world. Quite a few things they've said have come to pass, and they dropped loads of scoops from the inside over the past few hours, including some stuff regarding Roman Reigns.
Yes, they said that apparently there are plans to fill the huge void that Reigns will leave soon with other huge names. But this departure is part of Roman Reigns' plans to follow in some of his peers' footsteps, some previous superstars, and people like Seth Rollins and Mercedes Moné, I suppose, as well, and transition to Hollywood. When then asked if a move to Hollywood or working more regularly in Hollywood would mean that Roman is done with WWE, Better Wrestling Experience replied, no, but less schedule with time. So apparently Roman would be working less dates. But then Better Wrestling Experience was asked, would Roman take his belts with him to Hollywood or would he drop them? And they said, no, he'd take them with him.
Basically,
wouldn't drop those belts.
Yeah, so yeah, when asked, is he going to Hollywood with the belts? They said yes. Roman's schedule even less going forward, according to reports, which is even less than it is now. And his schedule has been significantly reduced since WrestleMania 38. There was rumors of a contractual renegotiation around Mania that led to Roman wanting to take more time away to pursue endeavors outside of wrestling. Since then, since WrestleMania, he has had less than 30 matches since WrestleMania 38 and has not been pinned in WWE since December of 2019.
Wow.
The last guy that pinned Roman Reigns was Baron Corbin.
I think Aiden, our resident, that's fine, Baron's a skilled guy. I think our resident news hound, the editor of the website, Aiden Gibbons, was saying that, I think he was saying that since he started at Cultaholic, there's never been another world champion. It's been Roman all the way through his tenure here.
Wow.
I know. So Aiden's the real tribal.
Well, it was the same when Michael Montague worked for us in 1982, and it was just Bruno Sammartino for years.
Right, yeah.
Same thing, remember that?
Yeah.
People used to kick off on Twitter all the time about Sammartino's
People used
reign.
to email Twitter all the time, and
Just
Twitter would broadcast their emails one by one, slowly.
Remember
That's how it used to work.
Do you remember the live reactions to the Madison Square Garden live show where like people were going livid in the chat about Bruno Sammartino not dropping the title again?
Why doesn't Muhammad Ali just punch an Oki? Stupid.
Oh, the great days. I think the more that I hear about stuff like this, about how Roman wants to get away and do more in Hollywood, but he's not dropping the belts until he's ready, or until WWE feel like he's ready, the more I'm coming round to the WWE World title. I did can you call it a hit piece on the world title when it arrived?
No, I thought it was I agreed with pretty much all of your points, Tom. Yeah,
but I know, but it was
valid.
very much a consolation prize because they can't take the belts off Roman. Having said that, I am very happy that the world title is here, and the build up to the Night of Champions, where we're crowning the first one, I'm quite excited to have a world champion that's on telly every week doing its thing.
So yesterday, me and Ross were talking about Rollins apparently wanting to. Well, he's part of this new Marvel project.
Yes.
And so there were rumors that backstage now people aren't so sure whether to put the belt on him. Because if you give it to Rollins and then he goes, see you later, and then you've got a third belt brought in, this is the real. But I think if I had to put money on it, I think it's going to be Rollins.
I still think it's Rollins.
He's on Raw.
I think the difference being that with Rollins, I'm not saying that Roman wouldn't, but with Rollins, you can effectively have him, if he's going away for a long spell to film, you can have him lose the title.
Right.
And then have somebody else carry it through, and then it's on TV every single week, and I like that. So I think even if Rollins is off to go and join the NWO. By the way, he didn't go with my idea for a video title yesterday. I'm furious.
No, because it was clickbait.
Seth Rollins joins NWO.
Couldn't have done it.
I was poorly.
The thumbnail as well would have been him in the black and white.
Absolutely. I was poorly yesterday, so I was there on my deathbed going, if this is the last thing I do before I roll off this mortal coil, I want a video that says Seth Rollins joins NWO and you.
I'm glad
didn't do it.
I'm glad you're feeling better now.
I'm glad I'm feeling better too. But I think he wouldn't. I could see somebody else taking the baton and then defending the title on a weekly basis. So yeah, I'm coming round to the world title.
Okay.
It's nice sometimes to change your mind and not be too, bloody minded to never change your mind on anything ever.
It's weird because I still vehemently agree with past Tom but disagree with present Tom. So I don't know where this is like a Schrodinger's agreement situation. I don't know whether I agree with you or not.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Could be a face or a heel turn, depending on how you feel. Talking of which.
There are a lot of heel turns apparently on the verge of happening, again according to Better Wrestling Experience, who tweeted that SP and Bianca heel turn is in the works, but not yet. Could see it in SummerSlam. SP presumably stands for the Street Profits.
Or Sally Phillips.
It's going to be the Street Profits. Sally
Stuart
Phillips.
Principal.
Sally Phillips is already a heel. She's very good. The Street Profits.
Sally Phillips in the mud.
She's quite withering on Alan Partridge, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yes, Street Profits and Bianca Belair. Well, I can see the Bianca one certainly happening just from the reaction that fans have been giving to her opponents. Basically, Io Sky was massively cheered in Puerto Rico. People have been saying a lot, especially around the time she beat Asuka at WrestleMania, that maybe Bianca's title reign's getting a bit stale. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that, but I would agree that perhaps a refreshment of her character wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing.
I don't think so. I think that Asuka's probably in the best position to take the belt from her.
Oh, fair enough.
Let me see Asuka give Belair the mist on Friday.
Oh, God, and then Bianca really didn't handle it well. She was like, oh, blind man.
I can't see!
Can it see, man?
And then she went on to host Saturday Night Takeaway.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect position to do that now and have that transition to Belair as a heel by SummerSlam. I think that it's been I've enjoyed Belair's title reign. I've really enjoyed it. I'm not one of those that's burnt out by Bianca Belair. I think she's brilliant, and I'd like to see her as a bad guy.
Yes, I would as well. She did it well in NXT, although that feels like a long time ago, and I'd like to see it again with the Street Profits. Interesting that both of them will be turning heel, which I guess means that this rumored split wouldn't be happening at least for the foreseeable future.
Doesn't seem that way, but it should. No, I'm joking. It shouldn't. No, that's what we want to happen. A bit of news from behind the scenes at the WWE Merger that's taking place. We found out just after WrestleMania that WWE and UFC are getting into a big, massive steel-caged bed together going forward. And as reported by CNBC, the name of that company has been revealed. They will be TKO Group Holdings.
Yes, the deal is expected to close in the second half of this year, and the company will be valued at $20 billion. Apparently, when the plan for this merger between WWE and Endeavor was first announced, that's kind of Ari Emanuel's, that's kind of the other side of things, isn't it? When this was first announced, it was known at that point that the eventual new public merged company would trade under the TKO name. TKO ticker, what does that mean?
Is that the thing that appears on the stocks?
Oh, right, not
TKO.
the name. Under the TKO ticker, right.
Which works quite nicely, actually.
Yes. McMahon and Emanuel told CNBC that the name would be announced soon.
TKO.
Wow, okay, fair enough then.
What a way to pay tribute to Mark Mero's finisher from the 90s.
Oh, right. I was going to say, I guess it makes sense because it's a term that applies to both the WWE and the UFC. But then as I was thinking about it, I was like, only the UFC, really. And now you've reminded me of that.
Yeah, Mark Mero, who's a combat artist of many disciplines.
Oh, God, yes.
It's a nod to Mark Mero. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Marvelous Mark Mero. Let's spoil Money in the Bank now. Possibly spoil Money in the Bank. It's going to be at the O2 in London on July the 1st. Apples and pears, etc. And Better Wrestling Experience back once again with the ill behavior. I told you, be hearing him a lot today. He's been quite accurate on some points in the wrestling world recently. And he's dropped a few names who could be reaching for the briefcase.
Yes, these are some names that are apparently almost confirmed for the Money in the Bank ladder match as of now. I'm going to list them off as we sit here now. Damian Priest, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, and Matt Riddle. Names discussed but not official for the match, so I guess a tier below those ones are Cody Rhodes, Gunther, Finn Balor, Chad Gable, and Edge. Chad Gable.
No disrespect to Edge in the mix there, which presumably, if he's in conversation, might rule out his chances of winning the world title, which it's already happened. He's lost in the thing, didn't he? But I forgot. I was about to say, was he not winning the belt? No, it's AJ challenging. Gosh, what a silly Billy. But Chad Gable in the mix.
If he's in it, I can see, especially those silly UK crowds getting behind the ones that they're not necessarily supposed to. Well, Chad Gable's going to be cheered to high heaven in that match if he's in it.
I remember doing NXT in 2016, I think it was, at the arena.
Oh, that was the very back end of 2015 because I was there. I remember. Was that when it was Balor versus Sammy.
Sammy's first match back in WWE in Newcastle.
Yeah.
It was that one.
Yeah. And Neville versus Corbin, I want to say.
Yeah, I think that sounds about
Asuka
right.
was in there. What a roster in hindsight. Wow.
You had Chad Gable and Jason Jordan in action, and the crowd just loved them.
Yeah.
Giving it Jordan, Gable.
Yeah,
And then they're on whoever was on the ropes, they go, Gable, give us a wave. Gable, give us a wave. Just all the footy chants for Jordan and Gable. I can see the UK crowd getting behind Chad Gable.
I would love for him to be in that match, but he is one of the kind of the secondary tier names they're mentioned by Better Wrestling Experience, who also says that it's not yet officially been decided whether the match will be a 6-way or an 8-way. I don't mind either way. I think they've both got benefits. 8-way, you've got more chaos, more big spots potential and stuff. 6-way, you've got more of an emphasis on each individual member. They all get a chance to shine.
More of a focus, isn't
Yes,
there?
and also they tweeted the UK about to get in the history books, which could be a cryptic kind of clue as to something big happening, or could just mean, hey, it's going to be a massive show.
Could be either. Either's good for us. More wrestling news throughout the day you can find at cultaholic.com. Stay safe and love you.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're doing karate chops.
I was going to go, but then I messed it up and just got caught.
Give us a big pew pew as I do a love you bye. Stay safe. Nice.